Hey guys, EBPMAN here, and today we're taking a look at another fantastic product from Whitestone Dome Glass. And this is a glass screen protector for the Google Pixel 3 XL. A lot of you are getting this for the holidays, so make sure you check out this video so you can see the best tempered glass screen protector. Let's go ahead and check it out. So guys, having a great screen protector on your phone is really going to extend the life of your phone and your experience. And let's face it, a lot of us put a screen protector on our phone to prevent cracks, to prevent also a lot of the finger smudging that takes place on the phones. And sadly, what ends up happening is there are many screen protectors on the market that don't do a really good job of first of all, keeping that tactile feature as you're touching your phone working well. And then secondly, as our phones have become more and more waterproof, you see more and more people getting their phones wet, even probably going to the beach. I wouldn't do it, but if you do, and the screen protectors don't really hold up really well. So the Whitestone Dome Glass is a screen protector that I've been reviewing for quite some time on the channel, and it really excels in a couple areas. First, the fact that once you put this on, it's going to stay on, and it does not impact the actual touch sensitivity of your screen. Second, no dust under the screen. Never any dust under the screen. And I can tell you that unless I've dropped the phone and I've cracked the screen, this is going to be the screen protector that you'll have on your phone for the longevity of that phone. So literally, you can go 6 months, you can go a year. I've had screen protectors on a phone for over 2 years, and they've done extremely well. As I even passed down the phones, they've gotten the screen protector, and they're like, oh my God, didn't even realize that it had a glass screen protector. Now, as we go through this screen protector installation, one of the things that sets this protector apart is the fact that it uses a curing process, a UV light. And once you put that on your phone and you use the UV curing process that you're going to see in this video, and I have to tell you, watch the entire video before you go through the process. Once it's on, it's on. But if you want it off, you can take it off without damaging your phone at all. And I tell you, I've done this before, and I have a video that I'll include in the links below that will show you the removal process and what happens with the phone after it's done. No residue, no damage, no problem. So let's go ahead and do the unboxing. We will do also a installation. Make sure you watch the full instructions, and you're gonna love this one. Let's get to it.
Make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the little bell icon to get notified when new videos become available. Now, as I mentioned in the opening, make sure you watch to the entire video before you do an installation. This product is available both for the Google 3 XL and the Google Pixel 3 standard. The installation that I'm about to go through is going to apply to both. So, as always, I start these videos. Anytime you're installing a glass screen protector of any type, make sure that you have no fan running. Make sure that you have your central air is off or you've covered the vent. Make sure that there isn't any dust or anything moving around. And make sure by all means that you clean the screens of both your phone and the area that you're going to be working in. So let's go ahead and do the unboxing. We'll see what's in the box, and then we'll go through the installation process. Now in the box, you're going to find an assortment of accessories, including these absorbent tabs that are going to go on the sides. You're also going to find your screen protector. This is 2 of the adhesive glue that you can use. One, if you fail, then you can try the second. If you do fail with the installation, make sure that you wipe off the screen fully with hot water. Wipe it down. I sometimes will use even one of the alcohol wipes afterwards on the inside of the glass just to make sure everything is nice and clean. But you have 2 chances to do this. You also have some protective tabs, and you'll see how that works. And then you have this little UV light, which is really important because this is what's going to harden the glue. Make sure that you hold on to this, because if in the event that you drop your phone and the screen does crack, you can buy the glass replacement model, which is a little bit cheaper because you already have the UV part. So don't throw that away. Alright, so the first part of the process is to wipe down the screen. So if you've had, even if it's a brand new phone, we want to wipe it down with the alcohol wipe to get all of any kind of oils, any manufacturing type material off of it. So I'm going to just go over it, make sure that that looks good, and then also then I'm going to use one of the drying wipes to just make sure it's nice and clean. Alright, so we'll go ahead and follow up with this guy. Wipe it down really good. And what you'll do is once you've wiped it down, I'll set the phone to the side so we can look at some of the other components, but make sure that you re-inspect it. You don't want any kind of speck on there. And I'll bring it up to the screen so you can see how this looks so far. So notice there's nothing there, but we're going to check it again. As a matter of fact, I'm going to leave this towel here so that I can go over it one more time. Now, if you've seen some of my other videos, the installation process has changed somewhat. So this is a different tray. You notice how it says speaker here and it says connector here. So what you're going to do is, especially with phones that have dual speakers, it kind of gets confusing as to what side goes where. But this is where your USB-C port goes, and then this is where the head of the phone is going to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to place it here so that we can start our alignment process. All right, so here we have our speaker. Over there we have the connector. Here's our connector, USB-C. And what we're going to do is we're going to place it here. Just make sure it's in place. And don't worry if it doesn't feel like it's in the right place 100%, because once we put the top tray on top of it, things are going to align nicely. I'm just making sure that I didn't bring any dust here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the second piece. Now on this piece right here, you'll also notice that it says speaker. So this is going to go on the same side of the speaker. Speaker on this side, connector on the other. Now prior to placing the tray on top, you're going to take one of these tabs. You're going to notice these are right here. And you're going to place it on the bottom portion, and you'll notice how they kind of go into place right there, right? So this is going to cover this side of the screen. So I'm going to flip it over like this, and then when I place it on top of it, it's going to cover this speaker. Now once you've placed this top tray on top, you'll notice how it sits right on top of the speaker there. So this is going to push this in. Let me flip this around so you can see that. So you see how that looks? So again, this little blue tab, as soon as this goes on top of it, is going to, the one that's on the bottom is going to fix itself to the speaker there. Now for this part over here, we have another one that we're going to bring in. So I'm going to take this tab that we have here. Let's grab it. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing, but now what we're going to do it is on this side. All right, so we're going to place it right here in this notch. And then that's what it's going to look like. I'm just going to go over it and make sure this is clean still. I'm going to inspect it one more time. Now you have these two absorbent little towels or cotton strips. They're going to go on each side here and here, so if there's any excess glue, it gets absorbed by this and it won't be all over your phone. Now when you place those cotton tabs in there, make sure you push them all the way in, because you don't want them still popping out, because when you put the glass on top of it, it's going to interfere. So make sure they're nicely in, just like you see it right there. Now the next thing is to align the glass. So I went ahead and I placed this little doohickey here in place, right? And what you can do is, if you like to, let's go ahead and remove this for a second. We'll remove this extra vial out to the side so it's not in our way. I'm going to put this back in place. And now what we're going to do is we're going to screw the red part in here, and then don't worry, liquid's not going to come out until you release this side here. So I'm going to go ahead, open this up, and I'm going to place it on the screen. You'll notice that there isn't any liquid coming out. Tighten it there, and then as I release it, the liquid is going to come out. So you can see how that's coming off right there. Okay. I kind of go to the side just a little bit, tap it, just to make sure that all the liquid is gone. All right. If your desk is straight, you're not going to have a problem with the actual bubbles moving or the liquid moving. So what I'm going to do now is just remove this out of here. I'm going to put it over to the side, grab this guy, close this up. I have a little excess glue here. Now what I'll do is I will inspect the screen one more time. I noticed that there was a bubble over there, so I'm going to grab that liquid by just doing this and then bringing it back. The reason why I just did that is because if the glass were to fall on top of it and disperse, that little bead is going to cause a bubble. So if you do see any specks anywhere, just make sure that you go ahead and just move it like I just did, so that it becomes part of that one bubble. You don't want little bubbles everywhere, because then that's going to give you, again, little air pockets. Let's go to the next step. All right, now let's take a look at this for a second. Let's see if this will get in focus for us. There it goes. You see where it says step 2? And it says 2, and this says side for front camera. All right, so the camera is right here. What we're going to do is we're going to remove this tab, and then we're going to place it like this, because this is the part that we want towards the camera. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the protector. It's going to rest here and here. So I'm just going to drop it in. Okay. Make sure that it looks like it's in place. You'll notice that already the alignment here looks pretty good. So you'll notice how it's in place. It's actually touching the glass right here. Over here, it's resting on top of that little plastic piece, but it still looks aligned. I don't want to move it because I don't want the bubbles to move. The bubbles in the middle, the glass part is touching here, this part is there. Now the next step is to take this squeegee, and what we're going to do is there's almost like a track here, we're going to rest it here, and then we're going to move it this way. Once the glass is pushed down, that's going to come down, the actual liquid is going to disperse. Let's go ahead and try that. All right, so let's go ahead and try that. I'm putting the tray right here. So it's just resting, and I'm just going to move slightly forward, not putting too much pressure. It's going to push down. You can see the tab coming down, and it's pushed. And now this tray is going to, you notice how the liquid is now dispersing, right? So everything is straight. You're not going to touch it. You're going to let the liquid make its way down, and then once that's down, we're going to wait a couple seconds, and then we're going to put the UV light to actually cure it. Now after a couple seconds, you're going to notice that the glass is fully coated now. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. I'll move the camera just slightly and we'll zoom in so you can see that. So you notice that it's going all the way over here. It looks like there is like a little bubble there, but that's just a reflection, so don't worry about that. But it's covered completely. Now that it's covered completely, now it's time for the UV. So I'm going to start on the corners. So I'm going to start over here, turning on the light, and we're going to let the UV light just a couple seconds, but what I like to do is I just let it go through entire cycle. So I just leave it here until this light turns off. I'll go over it a couple times as it's instructed in the steps and just continue to move it, and then we'll take it out of the tray. Now I'm going to do the same thing to the bottom. So it's 15 seconds here, 15 seconds there. But because I change a lot of cases on my phones, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it go through a full cycle. I do a lot of taking off and taking on or putting on cases, so I tend to twist the bottom. So I'm going to let it cure. I'm going to do a double cure on each one of the corners just to be on the safe side. I'm doing that because I have so many cases that I switch through. So 15 seconds, 15 seconds, then we'll go through the middle. But I'm doing it again twice as much because of just the fact that I go through so many cases, and I don't like the screen protectors to lift on the sides. Alright guys, so now we're going to go ahead and remove the tray and remove the phone completely. I put on some gloves because sometimes if the liquid gets over, I don't really care for the smell too much. So I'm going to lift this up, and you'll notice that the sticker from the bottom came out. That's okay. And what I'm going to do now is take the phone out of the tray with this hand. Didn't get nothing smelly on me, which is good. And I'm going to use one of the new alcohol wipes that I have not yet used to clean the side. So we're going to go ahead and work on the side. I'm a righty, so I keep on trying to grab with my right. What you're doing by doing this all the way around is you're making sure that if there's any glue that came out, that you are taking care of that and wiping that down. I'm also going to remove this tab right here that's by the speaker. Okay, I didn't have any excess glue, so that's a good sign. So wiping this down nicely, and then I'm going to take one of the towels that I had, and we're going to wipe that down. And now we're not done yet, okay? So, and I'm not doing this really hard. I'm just going over it lightly, just removing any excess liquid or stuff that could be on it. It looks good. Now what I'm going to do is going to set it aside, and we're going to use the UV light again, and we're going to go over it one more time. So we're going to do, again, go through it. I tend to use the full, I would say, cycle. It says 15 seconds, but again, because I'm pretty hard on my phones with all the cases that I switch, I'm going to let it go through the full cycle, and I'm going to do that for every portion, and then we should be done. Alright guys, so that was the install. Look how clean that looks. Very easy to install as long as you watch that full video. No problems there. This is by far the best glass screen protector on the market for any smartphone. So once again, if you have any comments or questions, leave it in the comment area. Smash the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.